I mean, obviously, if Josh Allen doesn't go, it's going to be a big downgrade for this offense. One thing that's interesting about the Bills is that their pass heaviness was already trending down from weeks 1 through 5. They have 14% pass rate over expected over the last 3 games. That's fallen to 6%. Obviously, that's with Allen. So I think without Allen, we could really see them be kind of more balanced, which would be the first time all year they've been balanced. But I do think there's a couple reasons to stay like semi-optimistic, not completely panic on this passing game. One is that the Bills are very pass heavy on 1st and 10. Even last week, they had an 18% pass rate over expected on first down, which is massive. They lead the league with a 13% pass rate over expected on first down. Prioritizing the pass on first down, they clearly have a philosophical bent to that, and that's going to create more efficiency for a passing game generally. So that's good to see, and that should help Case Keenum be okay against a middling Vikings secondary. So, I mean, it's going to be a big downgrade if Allen can't go, but I do think that, Keenum could keep things moving okay.
And he did also complete one of the most famous passes of the decade to Steph Diggs. So hopefully there's still a little chemistry there, and hopefully we don't go totally off the rails with the Bills offense. But Kyle, some people would say Gabe Davis already off the rails, hasn't caught more than 3 passes since week 1. 68 scoreless yards over the past 2 weeks. Really the only one true spiked week. He got spiked a week in week 1, kind of spiked the week after his big game against the Steelers. But is Gabe's season canceled, or is there still enough upside here where you have to keep treating him as a wide receiver 3?
Yeah, the thing you need to understand about Gabe's season is that it's not it's not a 17-game season. It's a 3-game season that you don't know when it comes, and you just keep playing him anyways. I don't think you actually play him with Case Keenum under center, though. I think that would be my caveat. But when you look at what he does, I mean, it's not a ton using SIS data on shallow routes, hooks, outs, crosses, corners. He is outside the top 50 in yards per route run. The only route he really excels in is posts. He's not bad at vertical routes either. That's not surprising, right? You're good at those. That's what you're saying?
The verts. Well, yeah, I mean, I broke clear on a vert in Canton, Ohio, in case you guys forgot.
You did. You actually did.
And the quarterback.
Yeah, and you didn't come back to the ball.
I know.
So
I didn't. The film guys saying I did not come back to the ball at all. I just kept going. I thought all I had to do was shake my man. I forgot you have to play receiver.
Not just fade away from the ball. Yeah, I'm not actually Josh Allen.
I did start just fading away from the ball.
Well, when they say run a fade, they don't mean fade out of the play. They mean the route is physically a fade. But the point being, Gabe does really just 1 to 2 things well. He beats his man deep. He doesn't really do much else. And with Josh Allen under center on a pass-first offense, that is great for spike weeks. It is not great for his floor, but that is just who he is. Without Josh Allen under center, I actually do think you just bench him because you cap so much of your ceiling by taking away the cannon that is Josh Allen.
I think that's fair. I'm benching him in a league for probably DJ Moore, which needs to be in there anyway. I have to make that decision this evening.
I think you're right.
Going with DJ Moore over Gabe Day. Even though, I mean, do we have a lean on Josh Allen? What do you guys think?
He didn't practice on Thursday. I think it's a long shot.
Yeah, I think he's probably out.
Me too.
It seems like he'll probably only miss like a game, though.
Agreed.
We'll see. Denny, a name I feel like we have not uttered all season is Dalvin Cook. Like maybe the least discussed superstar of the 2022 fantasy season, but still putting up pretty solid numbers, pretty bankable floor. Just not really seeing the spiked weeks, not maybe seeing as many receptions as we would like. Just how are things trending in Dalvin Cook land?
I thought I was going to look into this and say, I found it. I found why Dalvin Cook is not, excelling, is not, delivering for those who drafted him in the first, second round or whatever. And folks, I did not find that. He's 12th in expected running back fantasy points through week 9. He's 14th in actual fantasy running back points. So there's not like a huge gap there. He has 6 touchdowns and he is seeing most of the goal line carries for Minnesota. He has more high value touches at this point in the season than he did last year in week 9. He's not converting as many, I suppose, into touchdowns. It's really, if you can drill down to something, I think it's his lack of pass catching opportunities in the offense. He's averaging 2.7 targets per game. He averaged 4 targets per game, both last year and in 2020. But he's 11th in running back pass routes. So he's out there. They're just not targeting him.
I think I sort of feel like Dalvin Cook will be someone who produces more fantasy points in the second half of the season. It's kind of for all the reasons you laid out, where there's really nothing fundamentally wrong. And he still seems like a good player, and basically seems like we might get some regression to the mean, right?
I agree with that. His snaps are back up because he had that shoulder injury that kind of knocked his snaps down. And he's had snap shares of 88%, 76%, and 86% in his last 3 games. So those are all very strong. The 280 plus to 85% plus snap shares are very, very strong. If they keep playing him like that, there should be some regression, I think.
Crane, anything on the Bills backfield? Is it going to be a 3-man committee with or without Josh Allen this week? Devin Singletary, Nyheim Hines, and James Cook. Had to think who the third was.
I think this maybe sets up well for Singletary in a sense where, if they're leaning more on like a traditional run game, I think he's their guy there. He had 74% of the snaps last week. So, Nyheim Hines, maybe he just wasn't ready, but it's kind of more of the same with the Bills backfield. They're leaning on Singletary. He ranks 14th in success rate. It's pretty solid. He's not like explosive or anything, but I think he could kind of help keep the chains moving in this game.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and Rotoworld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from Rotoworld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.